It's Lorel AAA. Hey, Lorel.
Hey, what's up?
How you doing, honey?
Good.
I figured it'd be good to have you, because you have been on the quite the roller coaster ride of jobs.
The
On top
journey.
of being a creative, you have a very unique journey, and I think you've got a lot of insight to add here.
Yeah.
So
And going.
yes, exactly. So later on in the conversation, we're gonna dive into some things. In the
Yeah.
meantime,
Thanks for having me.
let our listeners know a little bit about you. You know what you're working on.
Yeah, so my name's Lorel Scott. I am currently the co-founder COO of Startup Starter. We are an educational business school helping the next entrepreneur and the modern audiences of business education learn education in a more fulfilling, digestible, and snackable way. So check us out, startupstarter.co. I am from California originally, but I've lived all over the U.S.
All over.
DC, Baltimore,
Miami.
Miami, Atlanta, and I'm from Sacramento. So I feel like I'm home though. I feel
Oh
like
yeah,
LA is,
LA's home.
yeah, like the only way that I'm gonna move out of LA is if literally if
If the earthquake hits.
well, that's for sure. I'm definitely gone. You know, I talk about that all the
For some
time.
insight, yes, Lorel is obsessed with earthquakes, and so he loves. Don't get him started. I'm not about to get you started right now,
Yeah,
friend.
yeah, we're not gonna go
But
there. It's coming though, y'all. It's coming.
it's coming. In addition to my guest co-host Lorel, we have a special guest in the house. He's known by AJ Calloway. You can find him on
Hey.
IG as AJ the vocalist. Hey, what's up, AJ?
What's up, everybody? Thank you for having me.
Absolutely.
So
Thank you
glad
for
to be
being
here.
here. Thank you for being here.
Yes.
Tell our audience a little bit about yourself.
I am a artist, a visual artist, a content creator. That's what I do. I do photography. I do art, visual art.
You
You name it.
sang.
I sing. I songwrite.
Mhm.
I do quite a few things. I guess I'm just an LA guy.
You're what we like to call a slash, because you're a slash this, slash that, slash
Yes,
that. Yeah,
exactly.
Sharik and I call it, a slash. So.
But also, I have worked corporate jobs. I've done all of that.
And I know
Yeah.
this, and I was like, oh, AJ would be great
Yeah.
for this conversation.
Yeah.
So yeah. So
I mean,
yeah.
I've known him for his photography. The photography is sick, man.
Yeah, no, AJ, you're very talented.
I appreciate it.
You
Thank
have actually, what is your photography Insta?
Well, the name of my photography business is called Aja Image.
Aja.
Aja, yes.
Okay.
Aja Image.
It's spelled AJA.
It's AJAA
Okay.
Image. And you can find the website ajaimage.com, or it's also the same on Instagram and whatever. You can find it on there.
With it. Cool. All right. Well, thank you for being here.
Yes, thank
What
you.
do we get
Thank you
into
for having me.
next, huh?
Huh?
What are we getting into next?
We're gonna get into before we get into anything, I'm gonna give a shout out to my sponsor. D Slaps Beauty Bar.
Yeah.
This show is sponsored by none other than D Slaps Beauty Bar. Who doesn't love complimentary mimosas while you're getting pampered? Choose from their standard mani-pedi service or treat yourself to something really special with their milk bath foot massages. D Slaps Beauty Bar is located in Torrance at 24401 Hawthorne Boulevard, and get the treatment you deserve. Once again, that's D Slaps Beauty Bar located in Torrance at 24401 Hawthorne Boulevard, and you either ask for Tiana, Mocha, or Kiba. Let them know that the Good News Radio sent you, and you heard it right here on Limelight Live. If you go there, you heard it from us. So please.
Yeah. I remember when you first told me you guys got the sponsorship, and I was like, okay, they better slap.
Listen, they slap.
Okay, I seen it.
Yes, they slap. I'm gonna go. I say this every week. I'm gonna go.
We can go together.
We
Yeah,
can go.
we can go
We'll
together.
get
We've been talking about having a little mani-pedi type of situation, haven't we?
We have.
Yeah,
We
go.
have. Oh
Must be nice.
It is nice. You should join us.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe I should. It's been a while.
Yeah.
Don't they got champagne? Or
They got mimosas. They have snacks, complimentary while you get
okay.
your service.
I'm down.
I just want to do my feet. That's it.
You want to do your feet,
That's
Kelvin?
it, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I got my hands covered.
All right, cool. We'll make it a boys' day at D Slaps.
Yeah.
Hey. All right, so let's get into it. Our first segment of the night. It's our flashlights.
Flashing lights.
Oh, and I like to add, you can totally join in on the conversation if you'd like. Please call in at 323-900-0478. I love it when somebody hops in with an opinion, and So yeah, 323-900-0478. All right, so flashing lights. So the first thing up, this is kind of no, not kind of. This is really big news, but as reported by Complex, Snoop Dogg is now now officially owns Death Row Records. Yeah, it's a long time coming. So, Complex reports that Snoop Dogg has acquired Death Row Records from the Blackstone control company MNRK Music Group. According to a press release via Business Wire, the rap legend will be leading the brand for the coming years as its new owner. Snoop originally joined Death Row in 1993. Do the math there. That is that
I
almost
was young.
30 years? Yeah, it's
Yeah.
29 years.
Yeah.
29
It's a
years.
long time.
A long time. He dropped his critically acclaimed debut album Doggy Style. And Snoop Dogg emphasized how excited he is to have acquired such a significant brand to the culture like Death Row. He quotes, "I am thrilled and appreciative of the opportunity to acquire the iconic and culturally significant Death Row Records brand, which has immense untapped future value. It feels good to have ownership of the label I was part of at the beginning of my career, and as one of the founding members, this is an extremely meaningful moment for me." Hand claps, please. Hand claps, please.
Yeah. I mean,
That's
come on,
that's
Black History
dope.
Month.
Yes, exactly. One of the
Making
things
history.
that we like to emphasize on Limelight is we like to highlight Black people who are making Black history now. Obviously, we always show homage, but new things are always happening for the Black community, and we like to really highlight those things because this 10, 20, 30 years from now, this is a part of history. It's a part of Black histories too. So this is dope.
Yeah. I mean, just the hard work that he's put in, right? Let's talk about how he tried to buy it before, and they were like, no, we're not gonna let you buy this."
Really?
Yeah, so he tried to buy it previously, and he inquired about it, and they basically told him no, and that they weren't selling it, right?
Come on.
And now he has it.
Now he has it.
You think he's gonna sign Martha Stewart?
Well,
She could do something, right?
she could. I wouldn't be surprised if he had her on something. Snoop Dogg. Just to point out, Snoop Dogg is probably one of my favorite West Coast rappers. Just so like it's like a household name, right?
Yeah.
Like it's Snoop Dogg, and
Snoop Double G.
he's been entrepreneurial before, particularly in media, and like you mentioned Martha Stewart, like he's obviously worked a lot there. And Snoop is also the type of artist who I feel like, even though he is a hip-hop artist, generally speaking in pop culture, he kind of crosses genre in that regard. Everybody knows who
music's
Snoop is.
changing so much, right?
Yeah.
So I think that this is gonna bring like a whole new like dynamic of artists coming out as well.
Yeah.
Through this, I think that every company needs to change, and every company gets to their point where the head needs to be cut off and grown into something different. I don't know.
I look at it as gutting out an old building and putting all new furnishings on the inside. Back in 2009, they were valued at like 18 million. So I'm assuming that Snoop Dogg probably got like some type of really good deal.
Yeah.
Or something, like he probably got like a like
they've
a
been doing
steal
good.
on it. You know what I mean? He probably got like some type of steal, and he just went ahead and
Yeah.
So, I mean, I guess we'll see. I don't know what they're actually valued at this moment in time. So I don't think anybody really knows that. But for undisclosed amount, I'm pretty sure he got a good deal on it. It's just carrying out the name. I guess they have a little bit of a history, even though I think the name has a little bit of a bad omen around it. Just a title like Death Row doesn't really sound too appeasing. But
for at the time in the 90s,
Yeah.
that was just kind of like,
yeah,
it felt right then.
yeah, it was right
Perhaps.
after Thriller, so hey, not
Yeah.
a surprise.
Were they
Perhaps.
doing good?
But Death Row, I mean, you got to look at everybody that came out of Death Row at the time. Yeah, like they really blew it up.
More recently, though, has anyone come out of there recently that we're aware of?
To my knowledge, no.
It wasn't any no contemporary artists were on Death Row.
Not to my immediate knowledge.
Oh, so he may have got this on pennies on the dollar then.
Probably, but I think that goes to say he
$1,500 sold.
So to Snoop Dogg in the back with the ponytail.
I think Snoop could bring different life to it. I think just as an artist of where he's at in his career, he probably has new perspective, and maybe there's something new that he wants to bring to the table now that he's at the head of it.
Was Dre involved at all? Because he was
Dre had ownership in it
That's what
before.
I'm saying. Like, was he involved at all? Maybe.
Dre is liquidating. Dre is not.
Okay.
He got rid of Beats. He's ready to roll. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Oh, snap.
So, anyways, another hand clap for Snoop Dogg. That's dope.
Yeah.
Appreciate you. This is a really cool story. So the Olympics are happening right now. So U.S. figure skater Nathan Chen got the Olympic gold for men's singles figure skating, and he's only the third U.S. skater in history
Mm-hmm.
to ever do it. The 22-year-old American phenom followed up his world record short program with a breathtaking 218.63 point free skate to win the figure skating men's singles competition at the 2022 Winter Olympics.
You know what those numbers mean, friend?
I don't know at all. But he's 22, he's Asian American, and to be only the third American to win this,
Yeah.
I think it's specifically third US male
Mm-hmm.
to win. I think that's really dope, you know. Shout out to
You would think that it's crazy. You would think when you look at sports in the US, right, and the different sports that people play, whether it's hockey, whether it's basketball, you don't hear too many people like, I'm getting ready to go to a figure skating competition, right? Like, but you think like there could be more though, because it's fun. I mean, I've been trying to go for a
fun
while
fact.
now.
I was obsessed with figure skating when I was a kid. I remember the 90s. My hero was Nancy Kerrigan. I used to tell people I was gonna be a figure skater.
And what happened?
Not that.
Oh, wow.
Not that, friend. I would pretend to skate around my living room, like kick up in the air,
Okay.
skating backwards, all of that, and then my grandmother would come in and be like, "What are you doing,
Did you have socks on?
friend?" I was using my imagination.
Oh, so you never got on the ice, actually.
No, friend. Not
Oh,
at
but she was
all.
gonna be Nancy Kerrigan.
I was gonna be Nancy Kerrigan. You was about to tell
one
me
way or another.
one way or another.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think everyone had that moment though, like with figure skating, because all of our parents used to watch it on TV. Like, oh, we got to watch the Winter Olympics, you know.
Mhm.
Now I didn't watch it. Did y'all watch it?
No.
I don't know nothing about it, so
Don't know about
don't know nothing about it. Haven't watched it. Haven't seen it.
Yeah,
Congratulations to him.
yeah.
Congratulations. Okay, this story kind of boils my blood, mainly because as someone who works in the media, you may hate her, you may love her, it doesn't matter, but just hear me out and when I tell you about this. Okay, so it was recently announced, it was announced this week, various outlets are reporting that Sherry Shepherd is set to be the permanent host of the Wendy Williams show. In the event that Wendy does not make a soon return to the show, they're looking at completely changing the name to the Sherry Shepherd Show by September of 2022. Now, whether you hate
I
her,
didn't get that part.
yeah, whether Sherry's been the most favored guest host through the alternating guest hosts that have been
She's
happening
funny.
while Wendy's out due to her medical conditions. So it does make sense. I do think Sherry should get her own show. Yes, she's doing a good job. Here's where I have an issue with Wendy Williams. Whether you love her or hate her, you have to put some respect on her name and the legacy that she's built in regards to how she started from radio, worked her way up, and she created this show. This is her product. This is her thing. And I personally, from a PR standpoint, think that they really dropped the ball in this announcement, because I feel like in order to preserve Wendy's legacy and everything that she's worked for, it would have done her more justice if they would have just announced that the show was ending. And then on a separate release, say Sherry Shepherd is getting her own show. I don't care if y'all kept the entire crew, kept the same studio, redecorate, do all of that. We don't need to know that. We don't need to know what happens on the back end. But as a sense of respect and as a sense of narrative, I think they went about this the wrong way. Sound off, please.
I mean, I think that for one, I would rather see Wendy.
I would
girl,
too.
where are you? Because I don't understand. I really don't understand like the scope behind like what's really going on.
No, she's really sick.
Okay. So
she's really sick.
did you see her?
She's I didn't see
I'm just
her.
kidding. But I think that I think you're right. I think that them taking the show offline for a bit, because just like anything else, like you look at HBO, right? HBO goes on hiatus for shows all the time. We can just turn it off. Like that, don't replace her. And then you're talking about now. I didn't realize that they're talking about changing the name. Change the name. Like I'm
Yeah.
like, come on, no, like
In that, yeah, there's rumors that she's experiencing early onset dementia. Again, rumors. This is all
Really?
yeah. Like that's what the stage that she's
Mm.
at. That she's not really capable of hosting at this point anymore.
Well, I will say this. I'm giving a little bit of pushback on this because I look at it as if she doesn't get a break like any other American.
well,
You
she being
don't.
negative 3 months.
Well, whatever the case may be, you know, when we don't show up to our job,
Mhm.
you'll get replaced.
Understood.
And that's just how it works
Understood.
for maybe 90% of the population.
Understood.
If we don't show up to our jobs, they're going to replace us.
But mind you,
And so-
she's not necessarily just an employee. Yes,
she may be sick,
she's
she
an
may be out on
executive producer.
FMLA, but even if you're out,
She's an executive producer.
they still have to replace you.
But she's the one who made the money.
I
But she's
hear
not
that.
working though.
I hear
They said
all
that
of
she has zero input on what's going on right now from what I saw.
exactly,
Mhm.
exactly.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, in that instance, then shut the show down instead of releasing the narrative that
Yeah.
oh
She's
someone's
being
replacing
replaced,
you,
you know?
Or step down or
when
step
she built
aside.
it. But I don't know what her mental state is now. She might not be in a state where she can even make that decision.
Yeah.
Don't nobody get dementia that fast, and it go downhill that fast.
Well,
Step down, step aside.
You
That's
also
just
got to
simple.
keep in mind that this is a woman who has battled addiction.
Mm-hmm.
She did have a relapse 3 years ago.
Mm-hmm. Was
But-
that during the time with her husband and all that was going on?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean,
Yes.
warranted.
And so I don't know how that has how the relapse affected her.
Yeah.
Now, there can be a number of reasons as to what she's not there for. But I do hear you, AJ. I honor that.
I'm not taking away from her contribution and all that kind of thing, but it's almost like, are you gonna? If you're just thinking like maybe a person from like a network executive, they're
Mhm.
probably thinking like, wow, she's done this every year. Every year there's something, and she's out for 5
No.
or 6 months. Or
this has been happening for the last 3 years.
yeah, 3 years. That's still a long time.
She's been on the air for 11 no
Mhm.
12 years.
Well, you got to think about it.
I'm just
too.
thinking, yeah,
For like,
if-
like today we're talking about corporate, right? You got to think about it from a corporate standpoint as well, not just the entertainment
Yeah.
standpoint and all that. They're paying people.
Yeah, a
Yes.
lot of people are counting on
Yeah.
money.
Yeah.
including her.
Yeah, they're still paying her. 'Cause
Yeah.
she's under contract for sure, but they're still paying all of the other people who helped the show run, right?
And a
Which
good
is
portion
why
of
they
her
need to
crew has
replace
been
her.
with her a long time.
Yeah,
Yeah, so you're putting a lot of people out of jobs by shutting the show down, for
Yeah.
instance. But at the same time, I think that, like you said, they could have handled it a little differently in
Yeah.
terms of just like, oh, we're replacing her. It's like you're never gonna be able to replace Wendy Williams, okay? Because
you can't replace her, but
that's the only part
Yeah.
that I have the issue with is the narrative.
Mhm,
I'm
Mhm.
a publicist, I know how these alerts go out.
yeah.
mhm.
That narrative could have been different. That's all.
The narrative should have been, she's not well and she's going to retire,
That's what I'm saying.
and
They're
there's
gonna
going to
end
be a
the
new
show's gonna
host,
end.
yeah, or whatever. Yeah,
The show ends, but anyways,
I think it's time.
it is
it's-
time.
yeah,
For the
it's
show to end.
It's time to retire Wendy Williams,
Yeah, I mean,
in my personal opinion.
Oh, you don't like her?
No, it's not that I don't like her. I just think it's time for her to let's just step aside, because it's like, what are you doing? You're not able to work. So what else are you gonna do? Chill for a couple years and then write a book.
she got dementia. She not writing no book.
Okay,
We do
well,
not know
maybe
she
her
has dementia.
biographer can write a
Oh,
book.
okay.
We do not
Allegedly.
know if she has
Allegedly.
Allegedly, yeah. Maybe her biographer can write a book,
Yeah. Okay.
or maybe her brother can write a book. Who knows?
I don't know what's gonna happen with her. I pray for her, and I will keep
I
her
do.
in my
Yeah.
in my nightly prayers.
Yes. There. I will say, and then some people say, "Oh, this is karma." I hear all of that. Like whatever.
For what? Talking mess about people?
Yeah.
People talk about mess about people and all their business, and people be in
All the
everybody else's
time.
business all the time.
doing
It's
that
just
right
Wendy.
now. Get
I know,
well,
right? We are doing it right now.
that right now.
Get well, Wendy. We wish you well, and yeah.
We miss you, Wendy.
We miss you, Wendy.
How you doing?
How you doing?
Goodbye.
Not
AJ.
goodbye. Get off my phone.
Okay, are we hitting up this Zendaya?
Yeah,
What's-
we are. So her and her boyfriend Tom Holland, they're buying a house. Nothing exciting there. I mean, I just thought it was cute because
I mean, it actually begs a good question.
what's the question?
how quickly should you move in with someone that you're dating?
Well, how long have they been dating?
We don't know. It's a mystery.
Well, okay, so they are now on. It's been.
It's
They've
been less than a
friends.
year,
No,
right?
they've been friends for several years because they're on their third
They've known
Spider-Man
each other since
film.
2016.
And I think it was announced last September on a photo that made it look like they were romantic. So I think
You said
that's
last September?
correct.
You
So
mean
not that
in
long.
September? Because last September make it sound a long time ago. September was like 5, 6 months ago? 5?
Yeah, but we don't know how long they might have been dating prior to that. But again, probably not long.
Yeah.
They were good friends on Spider-Man, and then but their new house will come complete with a gym, movie theater, man cave, and 6 bedrooms. They've been officially dating since July
Okay.
of last year,
Well, I mean, I guess everybody moves at their own pace, right?
and they've known each other since 2016.
Okay, but
Um,
again, how soon? What is too soon for moving in with someone that you're dating, right?
You
Like-
ask me? Never.
Okay.
Been
Yeah.
there, done that.
That soon for
Huh?
that soon?
What? No. Okay. Let me see. Let me see. For me, it was after about a year and a half. I was with my last partner, who I lived with. The only partner I've ever lived with. Yeah,
But that's a reasonable amount of
I think
time,
yeah,
right?
that's a roughly reasonable.
Like, I mean, for me,
I won't do it again.
I've done it. I've done it once. No,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I did it twice. I moved in quickly twice. But I mean, one of those lasted 7 years. So I mean, yeah, I think you should really at this age,
I did say
right? We pushing.
we either moving in or we not.
Yeah, no, we're not moving. We're not gonna move.
Well, I'll tell you this: I live vicariously through friends, and survey says don't do it.
Okay.
Well, at what point are you doing it though? At what point does it need to be a ring? Do you need to be married?
I
Like,
do
what?
it after at least a year or two of dating,
Okay.
and we both have our own places.
So now when you say dating, is dating meaning you're in a relationship or you're just dating?
I would say, I mean, after 2 years, maybe of 2 years being exclusively involved.
Got it. Okay.
I
see
could
that.
consider it, but I'm definitely not pressed. I'm okay even if we live down the street from each other. I'm
Have
okay
you
with
ever
that,
lived
too.
with a partner?
No.
No. Okay.
Yeah, because I just learned from
What did you learn from?
I learned through family, through friends, and other people and their life experiences.
What was there?
And survey says
Don't do it.
don't do it.
Not recommended.
Not recommended. It doesn't
What would it
always
take
it doesn't
for you
always
to
end
move
up
in with
the way
someone?
that you expected. What's that?
What would it take for you to actually move in with someone? Like, one thing is 2 years, right? At least 2 years of dating exclusively. What other factors would you consider?
I don't know. I like my personal space.
Okay.
So I'm not really super pressed to have like somebody all up in my
Like,
space.
you over there, I'm over here. We good.
Yeah, but
Come over.
not saying that I could never compromise or do that. I'm just saying, like, in general,
Yeah.
it can be a challenge.
Yeah.
Because when you be in close quarters with somebody, sometime more things begin to
Over time,
Yeah.
for me, it isn't something I necessarily look towards anymore.
Yeah.
A younger version of myself was like, "Oh, I can't wait." No. I don't give a damn now.
I'm definitely we're for me, we're
Yeah.
definitely moving in at some point. Because I mean,
Sure, at some point, it's
yeah.
just not the thing that I'm
Yeah.
looking forward to.
Ideally, if we both have our own bedrooms, I'd be okay with that too.
I'm open to that too.
Yeah, I'd be okay with
I'm
that.
open to that too now.
Because some nights I don't want to be bothered with you. I just want
so
to just
y'all being 60-year-old people early.
Uh,
That's usually the people when they get in their 50s and 60s.
Well,
Like,
it's just that
I didn't live with you in the room with you for 30
well, no,
years.
I think each generation that comes
Yeah.
along
Mhm.
behind us, just how we came behind our parents, we kind of learn things faster.
Yeah. I
So
think
just how like
space-
kids now, they're learning things faster than how we learned it. And so it's kind of we're just kind of getting. You say 60 years old, but that's kind of becoming a new norm.
I mean, for me, like I enjoy the space, right? When I
Yeah.
can just lay in my room by myself and hit some Netflix or whatever I'm watching
Yeah.
and just have quiet time, you
Yeah.
know, light a candle or something for myself or whatever. I think that's good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, shout out to Tom Holland and Zendaya. I hope y'all enjoy your house. We'll see how long y'all last in it.
Wait a minute. Just one thing about Zendaya. Did you guys see the wax figure of her?
I heard. I didn't see
It's like
it.
getting mixed reviews all over the
Yes.
internet. When you guys get a chance, just Google that. Take a look at that. Take a look at her
Google it
little
right now.
her
Are they-
wax
Are they
figure.
saying it doesn't look like her?
Yeah, some people are saying it looks like her. Some people are like, no, it doesn't look like her at all. Oh
I'm
my
about to
God, what are
pull
you
it up
doing?
right now. I'm about to pull it up
This
right
was
now.
just like this is new news. This is like just
I got the alert
this morning, early this morning.
I
yeah.
got the alert today, but I didn't get a chance to actually
This
look.
don't look like her. They made
Her new wax, yeah,
They made her look like a cartoon.
exactly. Like other people saying
What
that she
is this
don't, and then some people
smirk?
like, yeah, that's.
Why they do that to this girl?
I know, right?
They
You guys have to Google it. Yeah, you can't see it right
I'm.
They got her looking
weak.
like somebody's attorney.
now. Right. It's like, what is this?
She looks Latina.
What she always did to me. She always looked a little racially ambiguous.
But this one's specifically Latina.
And it looks like they put some Kylie Jenner's makeup on her too,
Yeah.
See?
Not Kylie
I can
Jenner's
see that. I
makeup.
can see that.
Well,
allegedly. And it's like,
Oops.
is her neck really that long?
probably
Yeah,
not.
she's very model-esque. You know, she's 5'11".
It's like she,
God
like,
damn.
yeah, they need to.
Maybe if she's asking for help.
She's
Mm-mm.
tall. Can you
Yeah,
believe it?
this isn't doing her any justice. And where is this at? Where's this wax figure place?
It's being unveiled at Madame Tussauds in London.
Oh, okay.
In London.
Mm.
And last on our flashlights, next week is Valentine's Day on Monday.
Yeah.
Yay, what are y'all doing?
I don't really have any plans right now.
I like to personally think, even if I've been single on Valentine's Day, I don't immediately associate Valentine's Day specifically for romantic love.
Mhm.
You know, I think I have a lot of love in my life. It might not necessarily be romantic, but I celebrate the people in my life. I remember being very young, and my mom was always my Valentine. Like I would get her a gift or something, you know. And I think it's a beautiful holiday to just express love in general.
Mhm.
Period. I mean, yeah, sure, it's obviously cute for the couples and all that, but like my friends are my Valentines. I'll get them
thanks,
chocolate.
friend. Oh, you give me some chocolates?
Yes, friend. I'll
Seas
give you some
candy.
candy.
Seas candy,
Yes, we
please.
love Seas candy.
Seas candy, please.
Oh, there's one by my house.
Yeah.
I like
Perfect.
edible.
Okay. Yeah.
Calvin,
Yeah. I'll do that.
Calvin.
I
I like the one. I like the one that has
Kelvin.
the Snicker
Level up.
ingredients on the inside.
What from Seas?
Yeah, it's the
Mm.
caramel and something.
I like it looks like a sushi roll.
That's the one. Did you talk about the one that I get you?
Yes,
Yeah.
friend.
That's the.
You put me on.
What's the
pecan
name
roll,
of it?
The pecan roll.
Okay, I'm gonna have to try that one.
Pecan roll
AJ.
fire.
Next time I go get a free one, I'm gonna try that
Yeah.
one.
The pecan roll is the best one. My mom put me on those when I was a kid, and ever since then, my mom literally, because my mom lives in Atlanta, and she always, whenever I come to visit Atlanta, she's like, "Bring me some Seeds candy, and you know, better make sure it's filled with pecan rolls." I'm like, "All right, mom," or she'll just call me randomly and ask me for some. But no, I think sometimes that I think it's usually the younger ages too. I think once you start getting up in your 30s and things like that, I think Valentine's Day holds a different value
Yeah.
to it, right? Like you want to have the love, you want to
Mhm.
experience all those different things. I think that you also have a different look on how the love you have for yourself.
Yeah.
Right. Like
The best love
I'm
you
gonna
could ever
take myself
have.
out for Valentine's.
Exactly.
Right. Like
exactly.
I can like spend time with me for Valentine's Day and
Absolutely.
celebrate the love that I have for myself. Some
Absolutely.
self-love,
Some
right?
sparkles.
Self-love, self-care. But then you can also have the other side. You can have both. I think that it's all about that there's no need to have to have
Yes.
somebody on Valentine's
Exactly.
Day, right? Or
Mm.
that someone else has to have them, and like, or someone should be sad because they don't have someone on Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
I think
it's
that when
not
you
that
get
deep.
older, it's not that deep. It's like, okay,
Yeah.
it's another day. Like I want to I'd rather celebrate you all year.
All
Yeah.
ye-
You
yeah.
know what I mean?
Don't need
I'll celebrate you all year.
Yeah.
The flowers, the this and all those
Yeah,
different things.
One day doesn't determine like my love for you. So
Yeah, no, it just makes me have to go even deeper into my pockets when I've been going into my pockets already.
see,
Well.
I'm just spending it with my son, and that's all we're doing. We're just getting
Your kids can be your
Yeah.
Valentines.
Yeah, and they usually get you something.
My mama
So-
used to get me stuff for Valentine's Day when I was little. It's a sweet thing. It's a nice
My-
sentiment.
My son brings me cards every day for Valentine's Day. Like he just gives me one. Like here you go, daddy. Like
That's
specifically for me.
awesome.
Yeah,
Mhm.
so,
See,
and we just hang out.
and that's
Yeah.
probably way more valuable than you having somebody.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So
Period.
And I haven't got to spend money on flowers. So there you go. This is
Oh,
I buy flowers for myself every
I
week.
love flowers. I'll buy myself
see, I don't
flowers.
take care
Well,
of
that's nice.
Yeah,
Flowers are nice.
flowers. I put flowers in my bathroom every week.
Nice.
I mean, sometimes 2 weeks. Some of them last.
See, I
longer
do
than
it
others.
periodically. It just depends on how I feel. Because if I see some fresh flowers, I may
Yeah.
put them in my dining room.
Yeah, I put them in my bathroom, or I'll put like on my side of my bed.
Yeah. And then also lastly this weekend is of course it's Super Bowl. I am looking forward to the halftime show. Mary J, Snoop Dogg, Kendrick, Dr. Dre,
Death Row
Eminem.
Records.
Yeah.
It's about to be
If
popular.
you it's perfect for the announcement, right?
Yes.
Of the for records.
Yeah. So-
I will not be anywhere on the other side of the mountain. I will be in the valley of Los
yes.
Angeles. I am not
Actually,
coming on this side.
We'll be in Burbank actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, there's
I had to make an announcement.
Is it a party going on or what?
I don't know.
Do y'all party a lot less these days?
Yes,
Yeah.
significantly.
Do you
Yeah.
think it's COVID?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's a combination of coming out of a
I
pandemic.
party with the
and-
vaccinated.
Not.
TJ.
Oh my god. That's controversial.
In some ways,
I feel like so. Here's the
Well, I
thing
mean, you
about
go to these places. They ask for your vaccination card. I mean, you
Yeah.
go in there, there's live music, people
I
dancing.
mean,
Part.
I
I mean,
got
there's a lot of people
So,
out here that
whatever.
don't got legit vaccination
Yeah,
cards.
of course,
a lot of people. I know some.
Of course.
Yeah. Name no name.
What you doing for Super Bowl weekend, AJ?
Super Bowl weekend. I didn't have anything planned. One of my friends who's a chef, I know he's having a small little gathering, so I may go to that.
Can I get a
Or
plate?
Friend, we like food. We like food.
Right.
We like food, friend.
Love. Food.
I'll give you the details later, maybe.
Okay.
And then my other friend is my other friend. He's having a Super Bowl party too, but I was invited to the other one first, so I may go to that one. And by the way, I want
Hope he ain't watching.
you say go to both, but see one. I mean, one we're talking about near Long Beach, the other one we're talking about in the valley.
Downtown
So it's
and
kind of
all
like one or the other.
valley.
And I will say, actually, I didn't get a chance to say this, but on Valentine's, I'm actually going to Caitlin Howard's event. Caitlin Howard, she's Mickey Howard's daughter.
Okay.
She's a singer as well.
Okay.
She's having her album release party on Valentine's.
Oh, nice.
And so I planned on going to her Valentine's Day album release party.
Fine.
So that's on
Nice.
Monday.
Okay.
Do you get a +2?
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
Oh, sorry,
Caitlin, she sent me
Calvin,
she sent me the Eventbrite and stuff.
Mhm.
I could share it with you guys.
Okay.
You don't got plans?
Yeah, I mean, why not?
All right.
It's Valentine's.
I don't mind. We can all go and have a good time.
I'm totally down.
gosh.
As long as they got a bar, we good to
Right.
go.
It's about pool season again, y'all. It's pool season.
It is. And that wraps up our flashlights for the night. Bing.
Flashing lights.
All right, it's time for my spotlight. It's the corporate creative. All right, so yes, I wanted to talk about this just because it's come up in conversation before, through several conversations that I've had with fellow creatives, fellow colleagues of mine who might work in the corporate world and who want to venture out and do things. And I said, you know what? There's a conversation here that could be had, and I think there's insight that can be shared to our younger audience who might be in this predicament, trying to understand how to navigate where they're going career-wise, right? They might have certain passions that they want to pursue, but they also still need to pay their bills, So I wanted to have a conversation about that and, kind of share some of our experiences. We can go into that, and then we can also look at, unique ways that, the modern creative and the modern corporate creative have managed to merge the two. So to start, I'd like y'all to share, what your experiences were kind of maybe earlier on in your careers when you were juggling both, if you will. Lorel, I really love for the audience to hear about your experience back in Atlanta and the DMV area when, I don't know if people know this, but you're an interior designer.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you were also
I ain't the best dresser, but I can design your place real nice.
You was also on that corporate life too.
Yeah.
So walk us through a little bit through that and what that was like for you and how you managed.
Man, it's crazy. Like just thinking back to those times. So it all started for me in college, right? And I worked at Lowe's.
Okay.
And while working at Lowe's, I was working in the paint department, and then I got my first apartment by myself off campus. And so I decided, I was like, you know what? I want to put some stripes on my wall, right?
Okay.
And
Oh, them stripes.
My stripes fire.
Them stripes.
I perfected them over the years. But I put the stripes on the wall and I was like, oh, this is cool. And then I took pictures of it, right? And then while I got into a car accident and I had to leave Lowe's because I'm a college student who got in a car accident. And at that time, when you're a college student, your car's paid for. And so all you got is liability insurance.
I know that life.
You may not be able to get another car. So I had to get a job closer to campus and I became a manager at this $1 million condo in Tallahassee, Florida, where I went to Florida A&M. And I started showing my pictures of my stripes, and then like several of the residents who owned condos in this building let me play around their walls. And then I moved to Atlanta, started playing around some more, and then I moved to DC. But at the same time, I was also in school working, right? And then my career took off when I was in Atlanta. I left. I became, got into management. So my corporate career was doing pretty well. It took off, and I became a marketing manager, and then I was a sales manager. I was a senior sales manager, and then I was in top salesman at the Yellow Pages.
You were growing.
Yeah, I was. My career was growing. In the meantime, I was still like on the side doing like my interior design.
So would you work like nights and weekends on the interior design stuff?
The
company was called Wesley Scott Interiors.
It still is Wesley Scott Interiors. It still is Wesley Scott Interiors. I still have it. I don't do it as much anymore now because I'm on a whole nother journey of entrepreneurship. But I would do it on the weekends. I would do it late at night. I've done it to my mom's house. I've all throughout, right? And so it went from being a paint company to a full-scale interior design firm. And so like even though it was a interior design firm of one, I was getting more clients, and I moved to DC, and then I redesigned a luxury apartment community from the clubhouse to all the carpets
while still having a full-time job.
Was
it ever
corporate?
Was it ever like were you ever exhausted?
I'm exhausted now. I'm still exhausted from just then to today. I mean,
that sounds like a lot.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, to be honest with you, it's a lot easier when you can shut your 9 to 5 off because you get off at 5, right? And then you can go do something after, right? You get to shut that off. Where I'm at now in my career, in my creative, is that I'm full-time creative, right? It's a different way. I'm creating content where we have a studio, we're creating educational curriculums, all those different things in the current role.
So it's hard to shut those things off.
It's hard. Well, it's on right now. Like when I leave here, I'm going to go do some more work. I have to do some more creative stuff, but it's not always easy, especially when you're having a corporate job, right? But it's a balance. And the problem is that not a lot, especially in the minority, Black and brown, Latinx, however you designate yourself, it's harder when you don't have access. I think that if I had access to capital, right, or easier access to capital to be able to raise money for a company and the know-how, then I would have maybe left corporate long before and pursued it full time. Right. But when you're balancing trying to pay your bills and also try to do something that you're passionate about and that you're creative with, it becomes a problem.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, hold that thought.
Yeah. Okay.
Because I want to hear from AJ now.
Yeah. AJ, go ahead.
Please,
I can talk.
Enlighten us. He can't talk. So AJ, like you mentioned before, you're a vocalist. You're also a photographer. You're a content creator.
Fire.
But again, like, and you've grown in those aspects. It's creative too. Talk to us a little bit about your journey when you were balancing. What was it like when you wanted to record and you had to work?
Oh my God, it's always been a balancing act.
Yeah.
You know what? I think it really started because like I was one of those kids, like when I turned 18, I left home. Okay. And I never went back. So like by the time I was in college, I was working like 2 jobs. I went to Wayne State University, so I was a student and I was involved with music. I was involved with the school radio and different things like that. And so I had really just continued to do the balancing thing. Yeah. And then even the last job I actually worked was at AT&T, and I worked there for 6 years.
Yeah. Full time.
Yeah, full time. And I did that while also doing shows and performing. I even worked with a traveling band before
Oh, wow.
and performing in different cities and stuff. And so, I mean, I've done all types of things, you know, with the
Mhm.
whole balancing act. But
Yeah.
I think, I think what really drives it all is just if you just have a passion for it, there's just something that you enjoy doing.
Mhm.
You know, you'll continue to kind of like do it in your spare time or whenever. But I will say, um, I worked after 6 years of working at AT&T. I kind of just was over it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got tired of my manager talking to me
That
sideways,
part right there.
and I got tired of like angry customers because
Mhm.
there's always somebody upset at AT&T.
Uh-huh.
I mean, trust me, as a salesperson, and as a person on the front line,
Yeah.
oh my God, you had to deal with like so many attitudes
Yeah.
and people, and I mean, they just come in mad, and you had to figure out a way to make them happy.
If
You
you
know,
could give your younger self advice, let's say you're at that stage 18, 19, 20, right? When you're starting to discover maybe a sense of the direction that you wanted to go in passion wise, not what was necessarily paying your bills, but still knowing that that was something you had to do. If there was advice that you would give that version of yourselves now, what would you tell them? Both of you.
Well, for me, like, and it's something I still struggle with to this day, is procrastination.
Mm-hmm.
And
You would tell yourself not to procrastinate?
not to procrastinate, like not to procrastinate. And it's tough. It's not easy, especially like someone like me, and just full transparency, I have ADHD. So it's hard for me to concentrate on one thing. And then of course, being a creative, being someone who likes to like explore new things and has really cool ideas, it's hard for you to focus on that one. And then so you start focusing on one thing and you skip to another. So for me, I would tell my younger generation to not procrastinate. Time does not wait for us. And if you want to do something, do it and educate yourself along the way. I can still do more of that and educating and reading more and doing more to to not get stuck
Mm-hmm.
in wanting to do something, or
Yeah.
I'm gonna do it, right? There's things that we've
Yeah.
talked about that I've been wanting to do, I want to do, and I still haven't done them. And then it happens to everybody, but
Yeah.
like just do what you need to do.
Yeah.
The resources are there now.
AJ?
you know, I don't know if this sounds crazy, but I feel like if I could tell my younger self is, don't worry,
Mm-hmm.
everything's going to work out just fine.
Yeah.
You can accomplish anything you want to accomplish if you believe in yourself. And um, I would just say, just ignore the haters.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ignore the haters. I don't know. You know, it's just one of the type of things. Like I mean, I have been through hell and high water, but you know,
Yeah.
I guess I've just been blessed enough to just make it through.
I don't know why
I
you
know
This
that's
time.
right.
I don't know why the way you
So-
just said yours just really sound like a bedtime story. Like you was trying to really tell up.
One thing that I think I would tell myself is, and this is something that I had to unlearn, where I'm at in life or whatever, was to not be married to one thing.
Yeah.
You know, I think when we're younger and probably at the generation that we're at, when we were, we're conditioned to think that you can only be one thing.
Yeah.
That you graduate, you go to college, you specialize in one thing, and then you get a job and you're at that job for the rest of your life, right? You become a professional in that one thing. And we were conditioned to think that way growing up. That's, I mean, that's what, you know, well, what are you going to be? You're going to be a doctor? You're going to be this? Okay, that's what you're going to do. And then you work for 30, 40 years of your life, retire, and then that's
Cash
it.
out your 401k.
And right. And so then as life has happened to me and as I've illuminated different parts of my career trajectory in the past 5 years, I would say, I've realized that I've been able to move from one thing to the other. And thankfully, I won't say seamless, but things have always happened in the nick of time, like when I needed them to. And when I look back and I was like, wait a minute, I never stuck to one thing. You know,
Yeah.
I had a dream for certain things and I might have made one dream come true. And then I was like, do I stay here now? No. I moved. I jumped, you know. I went from the fashion industry and then narrowed in on a footwear industry. And then I accomplished several things in that field. And then from there, I jumped ship, and then I went to publicity and started working public relations, and then I segued myself into the media. And as I realized, when I look back at that, I was like, I never necessarily stuck to one thing. Whereas my younger self would have thought that sounds insane.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's something that I feel like I would tell my younger self is don't be afraid when things change, because they're going to, and they should. And it's good for you to grow, because I'm a creative person.
Mhm.
And I think ultimately we want to grow, and
Yeah.
that might, your interests might change.
I was gonna say, they say the average person will have 3 careers in their lifetime.
The average determined person.
I think it's generational.
Yeah, because I think
Right.
the generation before us settles.
Yeah, like go to work there for 30, 35 years, retire, wait on your social security, all those different things. And like there was also a different type of technology, a different type of things you could do back then than you can do now.
Mhm.
And I think that we got that conditioning of sticking to that one thing from our parents. I think that what we're seeing now is the major shift in all of that, right? Is that no, go do any and everything that you want to do, right? But at the same time, don't do too much, because then you like me, I like to do to myself is overextend myself, and I got this idea, that idea. But yeah, don't stick to one thing though, for sure, because you can do so much and your brain's going to shift over the years of your life, and you might just not like doing something. I want to be a nurse.
Well,
Nobody's trying to be in nobody's hospital.
see. Well, let me just share a life lesson that I learned.
Come on, life
Come on.
lesson.
This is a life lesson for everybody. I will say that I think if you have the intuition,
Mhm.
if you have the intuition or the belief or the idea that you could do something, you very well might be able to do it.
Mhm.
So the first step is intuition. The next step is knowledge.
Mhm.
So you get the knowledge, and then the third step is execution.
Mhm.
So if there's something out there you think you can do, you might be able to do it. Get the knowledge on it and then execute it. You might be great at it, because
Hey.
that's how I got into photography.
Yeah.
I just had a hunch or idea or just a thought, like, I think I could do this.
Yeah.
But I got knowledge, and then I began to execute. And so, that's how it works. It works that way in music and art and different things. And even how you were talking about interior design. I have never been an interior designer or anything like that, but I started doing it as a hobby like a few years ago. And I guess I'm really good at it.
See? And
So I've had friends and other people ask me to help them out in different things with their interior design and
You
stuff.
discover
there's a lot you
things.
So,
can do. Lots you can do it with Home Goods.
yeah, I love that.
That's
I
my-
love that
that's my
store.
jam.
You discover-
Marshalls,
yeah.
TJ Maxx.
Yeah.
And I think that's the beauty of the creative, is the fact that you can go and you tap into other talents
Yeah.
that maybe you just didn't have, that you needed to tap into those over time.
Yeah.
I think creative is creative though. Like if you're creative, you can be creative in different facets.
Yes.
Yeah.
However, and whenever you want. If I want to go, like I've been thinking about playing an instrument lately. I haven't pursued it yet, but like I can go do that if I want to do that. If I want to be creative in that way, I can. And you can
Right.
you can be multifaceted in your creativity.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I love that. Like, for example, I like to use the example of Khalees and actually Snoop Dogg, who are both music artists but love to cook.
Yeah.
Like Khalees is I think she's like on her 4th or 5th
She's
cookbook.
amazing.
Yeah, she's incredible. She
Yeah.
has a cooking show.
Yeah.
So it's like I feel like that's something that should be embraced more, right? You don't have to be this one-dimensional type of person. The beauty of being a creative in general is the fact that you can grow and expand yourself.
Speaking of cooking, we haven't cooked in a while, friend. We need to. We do like to cook.
We do. Before we wrap things up,
I cook all the time.
Oh, okay. So we need to cook off then.
Okay. Before we wrap things up, I want to touch on lightly on what the next step looks like, because if you also think about it, we all work these jobs, but I think ultimately the creative goes down a journey that ultimately leads to entrepreneurship.
Mhm.
And in this instance, this is where we're looking at how you're blending your business savvy or what you might have learned through those jobs with your passions, and how you turn that into a business. Or maybe you find yourself in a corporate setting that still feeds the creative. I'm an example of that. I was going gig to gig for years, kind of chasing several dreams. And now I work a corporate setting. Shout out to Blavity.
Good job.
Um, um, but I'm on their editorial team, and I've always been a writer. I've always wanted to somehow allow my writing skill set to sustain me in a way that it has. And it's crazy to think that where I'm at now was something that I wanted for a long time, but I didn't realize I probably wasn't ready for it. It came at the time that it needed to come. But that's just one example. Outside of that, when you become an entrepreneur like yourselves, you guys own businesses now. And while, yes, like you mentioned earlier, it doesn't turn off, is there a sense of like a better sense of yourself in this space as an entrepreneur? And keep it I got
Keep
a
it
few
cute.
minutes
I got
left.
2 minutes left.
Yeah.
There's a lot of pieces to go into. What I will say is, for me, it feels great to not have to answer to no one but yourself. If I do not want to get out the bed that day, or if I do decide that I don't want to do any work today or not respond to an email, I don't have to.
Yeah.
But I think the most important thing, especially as an entrepreneur specifically, is the mental health aspect of it, right? Because you are constantly having to tell yourself, yes, I'm good enough.
Yeah.
Not be discouraged. I mean, and we all get there. It's going to come, it's going to go. You're going to have highs, you're going to have lows. And I've just continued to just be mindful of the mental health around it.
Yeah.
I think that there's a lot of that, especially entrepreneurship, that's not talked about, because we have to be so strong, because we're building something or we're doing something.
Yeah.
You can't show weakness. And in all actuality, like, everyone has a weakness that they share with other people. And when you speak about them, it really helps someone else too. So that's a big thing for me.
AJ, the entrepreneur.
I would say, just from my experiences and from what I'm learning, I would just say, try not to take shortcuts. Try to do it the right way. Go about it the right way. And if you don't know a lot about business, take a business class. If you can't afford a business class,
And let me tell you,
if you can't afford a business class, at least go on YouTube and watch some videos
there
about
are
it.
so many resources now available to this generation.
Yes.
In regards to being able to learn. Lorel's company, Startup Starter, is one.
Yes.
You've got companies like Masterclass or Skillshare, like they're affordable resources for you to literally learn how to navigate a creative business.
Yeah, knowledge is power.
It is, and it's so accessible now in this technological age, in the age of the internet, and even beyond as we step into the metaverse. And
because trust me, it's tax season now, and there were so many different things I could have did, because I didn't think about those camera lenses and stuff I was buying, spending thousands of dollars.
Yeah, right.
And I didn't think I didn't even think like, oh, I can write this off, until I talked to my tax person. They're like, where those receipts at?
We just
I'm
talked
like,
about business.
I didn't think about that. You know what I'm saying?
We just talked about business here. Write the gas off.
All that stuff makes a difference. So knowledge is power, and just figure out how to, I won't say work the system, but just figure out how to maneuver.
Actually, it's good that you mentioned tax, because as far as writing off, especially if you work from home, I work from home. You can write off. You can write off your rent, your utilities.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. All of that. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you gangsta enough, you ask your landlord if you can put the apartment in your business name, and you can write the whole thing off as an office. So there's loopholes around.
That would be nice,
right? I'm telling you. But the last thing I'll say real quick, Josh, is just to kind of like piggyback off kind of what you talked about, is network.
Yeah.
Yes.
Asking people, the biggest thing that we are scared to do as people, a lot of people do not do, is ask for introductions.
Yep.
Do you know someone that's interested in this? Help me out. And it happens. Yep. So network.
Yep.
Yes. You know what? I had a Grammy Award winning musician told me the same thing. He said, if you want to make it, you want to be successful. He said, it's being out, it's meeting new people, it's going to places that you're invited that you don't even want to go. He said, that's where you will find success.
If you want to
so just being out, being around people, meeting
Making
people,
connections.
networking. Yes,
and I think
all of
being
that.
intentional about those connections.
Yes.
There-
Especially, yeah.
Yeah, because there's a difference. There's a
Yeah.
difference in like it can come across as thirsty and just whereas if
Yeah,
if
not
you're,
thirsty. We don't want to
you're
be thirsty. We don't do
communicative
that.
and you're an effective communicator and you're being intentional about
Straightforward.
how you connect
yeah.
with someone, then
Yeah.
yeah.
If
Yeah.
you want to
You're-
go somewhere, if you want to be somebody, you gotta wake
Yeah.
up and pay attention.
Come on now.
Oh my god. This has been good. This has been really good. This is exactly what I wanted to hear. This is exactly what I wanted to share with our listeners and our viewers. But before we go, why don't you let them know where they could find you? AJ, you first.
Yeah.
You can find me on Instagram. It's AJ the Vocalist. That's my more personal page. And then my photography page is AJA Image, which is AJAA Image
Mhm.
On Instagram, or my website, ajaimage.com. You can check that out.
We need to shoot.
Yes. I'm actually going to be doing a Black History Month special.
And me. Okay.
And just hit me up. I'll let you know what it is.
Bam.
Okay.
And yeah.
Okay, cool. Any projects you got coming up that you want to announce? Or
Well, I just got finished recording a new single.
come on, single.
Yeah, because I do music. So I will be releasing my new song soon. Probably maybe in the next month or two. I'm just trying to figure out the exact date and
Release it.
stuff. Yeah.
Release
Everybody,
it.
my friends keep telling me you need to put it out, put it out. Okay, all right. Yeah, I will put it out. But yeah.
Lorel.
You can find me at Lorel Scott, LorelScott. You can also find my company at startupstarter.co on Instagram, as well as the website itself. And right now I'm working on a really cool deal with a brand that I cannot say.
Don't say it. Don't say it.
It's proprietary right now. And then my company, we host the largest conference for equity crowdfunding, which is raising money for your business from the crowd, which was passed by the Obama administration, the Title III Jobs Act. And we are preparing for our second annual conference, which this year actually will be hybrid. So we'll be able to do it in person and online, which was really cool last year.
Yeah.
And we have a really cool, we're talking about the convention center and some other companies, really big companies being involved. So
Yeah.
cool.
I'm really looking forward to it. I was a
Fun.
part of the first one.
He was my operations manager.
I was his operations manager.
Now he
Yes.
quit and now he works for Black.
Friend, I didn't quit. I still got starter on my LinkedIn. Friend, it ain't nothing.
Okay. Well,
I'm all you got me for that week. I got you.
I got you too.
Oh, I'm
I
about
don't
to
know
say,
if
because
it's
I'm about to
right.
send you some stuff to work on now.
Friend,
I
you
got you too. but I
Well,
don't
check
know
your
what-
email.
Oh my
Right.
gosh.
Let me know,
Oh,
Lorel.
yeah. Also, I just have to give one last shout out to our sponsor, Sparkles. Once again, thank you, D Slaps Beauty Bar, for sponsoring this episode. They offer all types of services, including manicures, pedicures, facials, body sculpting, full body massages, and foot massages.
Hey.
Located in Torrance, California at 24401 Hawthorne Boulevard. Make sure to ask for Tiana, Mocha, or Kiba and let them know that you heard about them on Limelight Live at the Good News Radio. Y'all, thank you so much for
Making my
being here.
nails
I appreciate
done.
y'all so much. It's been nothing but love. I appreciate your support.
Yeah.
Shout out Sharik. I love you.
Yes, we miss you. Come back.
We miss you. Can't wait to have you back. And
Miss you,
that was another
Sharik.
episode of Limelight Live. You know, hit me with that music, Kelvin. Let's get out. Bang.
Yeah. Yeah, this is good.
I don't know if you step into the limelight.